Hello and welcome to Balance While Blooming. My name is Bridget and I am here to help not only share the way that I balance my life, all areas of my life, but also grow in a business, in a relationship, and so much more. A little bit about me before I get into my whole planner setup. I want you guys to know that I am a wife, I am a stepmom, I am an entrepreneur, I have passion projects, and I am someone who wants to balance it all, plan it all, but make sure that I'm growing and not only doing my hobbies, but doing the things I need to do and not all the things I want to do. It's also really important to understand how your planning method is and getting into that routine, because I will be honest, there's times that I digitally plan, times where I just quickly write something on my phone, on a scrap piece of paper. This is literally what I walk around with. And then other times I want a whole binder. It has changed throughout the years. There's times that I have an actual A5 planner. And there's times where I doodle. Sometimes it's just a notepad of things that I need to do. And all of these ways are 100% okay. Understand what works for me may not work for you, but I am going to show you my setup in the way that I plan. Now, every week is completely different in this household. It is crazy. Some weeks we have my stepson more than other weeks. Some weeks there's so many appointments. Some weeks there's only time to film, and the next week I only have time to edit and upload, and there's weeks where I just don't want to do anything, and that is 100% okay. And understanding that the way I set up things is a little bit chaotic, but know that it works for me, and the tips and the way I show my planner and the way that I plan is what works for me. But if it can help you too, I'm so happy to share it, and I hope you come along on this journey to really come along with me either weekly or monthly to plan. I don't plan on posting every week my planner because I want to help you guys grow as well, along with how to balance your life, when to balance your life, when to set up boundaries, when not to set up boundaries, and everything like that. So I plan every week, every day. Sometimes I don't. It's okay to not be consistent, but find a system that works for you. The more consistent you are, the more balanced your life will be, because you are in control when you plan. But whatever way that is fine for you. Now let's share how I plan. First is Google Drive. That is what I used before I ever paper planned. So let's go to the month of July. I will show this on the screen, but basically I look at this at a monthly view, and I think it is so important to understand that I have reoccurring things. There's months where I didn't plan anything. I really started planning in April. But then there's other months when I was in school that's all I planned, which is 100% okay. I literally have morning routine, days I go to the gym, appointments, everything on there, the days I work, the days I don't work, my husband's vacation, the stuff that we need for my stepson, payday, videos. It's very sporadic. Not everything gets on the Google Calendar, but let me tell you, what does is stuff that I need to know, or stuff that in the moment, oh my god, I need to do that, let me put it in here, which is with me all the time, before I bring it somewhere else. Now, talking about digital planning, I think it is so important to talk about two other programs. I do not use these religiously, and I use them for different things. So Notion, I know Notion is a huge thing. I don't put like my daily tasks on there. I keep track of my reading on there. I keep track of my content. I keep track of little things that I need to know, but it is so important to know that I am not one of those Notion girlies. I will take people's templates and simplify them. My content planner for Notion is literally a monthly calendar, and then in that monthly calendar it has when I want to post a video. Let's just say it's a video because that's the easiest. Okay, outline. Well, first it says, do you know what you're going to talk about? Outline. So my outline, I printed this one out, but an outline, I normally have it on my computer, and then I have edit, caption, description, whatever it is, and then post, schedule, go back to like and comment, and you'll see that I have a whole content page for my paper planner, but I think because I'm so on the go, it's good to know where I'm at, and if I'm somewhere else, I'm like, I gotta do that video, or I need that video for X, Y, and Z, or whatever. Now, Trello is another place where I put captions, photos, things to lay out what my Instagram is going to look like, especially because I'm beginning with my Instagram, so I put a lot of my reel covers in there, infographics, and kind of see the way I want it to post. And you can always move those around. You can pre-do captions on there. I typically do that, and I also put like a brain dump in there too. So that's what I typically put Trello for. Also, when we go on vacation, I like to use the columns as the days to know what we're going to do while we're on that vacation, while we're on that trip. What else did I do on Trello? I used Trello before I used Notion, and then Notion became a hype, and I'm like, oh my god, I can do so much more on Notion than I can on Trello. And then I was also like a Google Drive girly where I'd like make my own calendar and stuff, but then Notion, you can just, there's your calendar, it's different on each page. Like, the quick switch of like my brain is so nice from page to page of like what I need to see. So I do give Notion a big push for that, and all of those are free. Just putting that out there. You don't need to pay to have like a good system. Google Drive, Notion, and Trello. Now, paper wise is what most of this video is going to be about, because I have this simple folder which has all the templates that I need for that week. So this is my current weekly, and then a daily planner. I covered up today's, but I will share every single template that's in here, but I have a whole week's worth. I fill it out, and then at the end of the week, anything that is filled out, I literally pile up and put into a different folder, either in this bad boy or into a different location. And then I always have some ones that don't get used, and I don't worry about them. They stay in there. And I think it is so great to realize that for me, this is what works. Like, a bunch of loose paper is what I use. Guys, I am not obviously using habit trackers this week. And yeah, and not every day do I use every single page. Not every day do I update this planner. I am someone who plans as I go and when I feel that it's best fit. So I'm going to walk you through this binder with all the templates, what I use them for. I made almost all of my templates on Canva, and then I printed from a girly online. But those were also free, so if I can find those, I will let you guys know. So let's jump right in. Jumping right into this binder, we have our purple folder. In our purple folder, we have our daily planner. Now, in our daily planner, we have what I think is so simple, and that is what just really makes my life easier to actually use a daily planner. Has to be so simple. So my brain runs a mile a minute. So first, put the day, then the date, so the month, date, and year. I think it's just good to know what you kind of were planning that day, doing. You can keep track of these and see what you did. Then my goal, it's usually the goal of the day. I can't even think of it because usually it's something so simple to motivate myself, or on days that I'm not motivated, I'll sit down real quick and do it. Then weather, I typically do this midday when I'm checking in, like what's the overall weather so far for the day and my overall mood for the day. Sometimes I do that in the morning, sometimes I do that midday. Then The next section is must do today. These are 3 things. You don't have to use all 3. I think pushing yourself for 3 things that you priority need to do is sometimes too much because you have a schedule and to do, which are things that like aren't in your must do's. Must do's are things that you want to get off your list that are top priorities. From there, I have a notes and brain dump, but that's pretty much throughout the day to have on the side of your table as you're doing whatever. I literally bring this to work with me, and just like when I think of things I need to do around the house, anything like that. So I pack 7 days worth of a daily planner in here. I don't use it every day, especially on very busy days. I try to use this to like keep myself focused. Next, in this blue folder, we are working our way to the weekly layouts. The weekly layouts have a note section and then 3 or 4 days on each one. So these 3, the blue, yellow, and red, is my weekly layouts. Once again, I bring all of these. Do they each get done? No. But in the blue one, I try to fill this out at the beginning of the week, so on Sunday, because I start on Monday with my new sheets. So it has notes, so anything that I need to carry over for the next week. Sometimes I do keep an extra set of these in here just in case I need to put something in the notes section. But then it's notes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The next page has Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In there, I have half an hour breakdown from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. For me, that's what works. I wake up at 4 a.m., so usually the top 30 minutes to an hour is like morning routine, then it's gym, and then if I do work, what I do recommend is just putting a line on the side of that day from the time you start work to not, because sometimes there's appointments and stuff, and this is like a catch-all for everything, so it's very brief of what I put on here. So I think it's so important if like my husband has an appointment at 3 o'clock and I'm still at work, I still need to know that. So don't like work. No, like put that on the side, put it on a margin of every single day to know when you're going to work, but also have it on the side as an option. Now, also for our weekly, we have horizontal and vertical, and I think you can do what you want with each of these. It's just really up to you and how you use it and what you plan. Horizontal is actually newer for me. I did it with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and notes, because I think it is so important to focus on the first half of the week when you do horizontal, like what is happening. So for horizontal, for me, I do my grateful sometimes on here. Sometimes I put what I need to do for videos. There's a full day of like editing, or sometimes I put meals on there. Honestly, it's endless. I know that I don't do this, but I know like if you only have a few categories, you could like make each line a category, and whatever you need to do that day, you could do it that way. I know people do horizontal very differently. Some people just literally keep track of notes. I've also thought about this as like a brain dump for the next day, something like that. I use it more for like journaling, gratitude, more if I know that that week is like something I need to do, or that's what I use my horizontal for. Vertical, on the other hand, this one, we have a couple of these each week sometimes, depending on how busy the week is. So sometimes I do these for content. I am someone who likes to stay up on my content, when I'm going to film it, when I'm going to edit it, when am I going to upload it, when am I doing the description. So on here we have notes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Typically on Instagram I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On YouTube I post on Fridays. I try to stay on that schedule, but sometimes life happens. That is my goal. So on Tuesday, Thursday, and the weekend can be big, I wouldn't say content days, but they can, to edit, upload, schedule, do the back end stuff, where on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday it might be like, check your analytics, check how that post went, check how X, Y, and Z went, you know what I mean? But also having it as Instagram, YouTube, let's say you have a blog or Facebook or other content places such as TikTok or whatever it may be, to really break down each of these sections. And then on notes you can just kind of put a brief for that week. And I like it because it keeps me on track of like where I'm at with each piece of content and what I need to put as a priority and when is post day. So if I need to move something, like, oh my god, in 2 days I have to upload this video, like, you need to edit, you need to do the description, like, why didn't you do that? You can look at what you were supposed to do each day. So I think that is so important. And as I said, the catch-all, it might just say like YouTube, and then I go onto my horizontal or my vertical and go, oh my god, what am I supposed to do for YouTube today? Okay, today I'm editing X video or X post, or I am uploading, or I'm doing captions, or I'm doing descriptions, like whatever it may be. I think that is so important when it comes to scheduling your life. Now, the next few categories, I'm kind of going to run through the rest of this pretty quickly. This miscellaneous section, I'll kind of go in depth, but then the rest of this, it's pretty basic, and I think it's not necessary, so we'll briefly chat about each section and I'll show you what they are. But this is like the core, and this is like helpful, if that makes sense. I do use these more than I use these. Capiche? The extra templates are pretty basic. It is notes and brain dump. They're pretty much the same thing. Kind of depends on the vibe of the week. It kind of depends what I need it for. They're exactly the same distance away. One is dotted lines, one solid lines. One, I feel more creative. Some with notes, sometimes I feel very constrained that it needs to be like not a mishmash sometimes. And I think wording on your templates are so important when it comes to planning. Like, how you look at the page and how you use it is so important. But I use both of these. Brain dump is just more free thought and like get things out of my head, where notes are like, okay, you're having a busy day. Anything that you think of, write down, and there's a reason behind it. Like, important things, I guess is the best way to say, on a busy week where I'm not as creative and I'm not able to disconnect as much and like really think about the stuff. Now, habit tracker on the other end, this is for busy weeks as well, but just because I have a busy week does not mean I use it. On here I have week of, and then Monday through Sunday, and then I have morning routine, health and wellness, self-care for me, and evening routine. And on each of those sections you have about 5 things that you can do that you do every single day. I only do this if I feel like I'm scatterbrained or lost in a habit, which happens all the time for me. You get out of system, you get out of habit, and you kind of feel like you lost yourself in that habit. It's really good to grab a habit tracker and be like, okay, I need to check it off. I think that's so important. And like, life happens, but I think when you're off track, you can get back in it with a week. So I use habit trackers only really when I need it. So those are the main 3. I do plan on making a few other ones to help me, but not at this time. Now, green is financial. Shocker. A few of these templates you saw, actually only one that you saw, and I've created 2 more since that video to keep myself accountable for my monthly budget. So I do keep my overall monthly budget. I'm not going to show it again, but my overall monthly budget right behind it. And then at the end of the month, I will track it. But that looks like this. If you didn't watch that video, go check it out. It's the June budget with me. And so we have income, debt, bills and expenses, sinking funds, and total. And then with that being said, with the sinking funds, I think it's really hard to just see how much you budget in it, but not see what your goal is and how far away you are from it. So I have all of our sinking funds, the goal, the current amount of money in there, the monthly contribution, so whatever you're putting in that month, and how far away you are from your goal to really see how much you need to put before whatever is full, whatever section you have. So I think this is something great to look at maybe every 2 months or at the end of every month, or I want to start doing it every quarter, to not push myself too hard, but also keep myself on track. And then on busy weeks, because I do track every single expense right now while I'm trying to stay on budget. This is my first month like tracking every single penny that comes out, debt or credit. I put this in, and this is a spending tracker. It just has the date, the description of whatever it is, the amount, and if we put it on debit or credit, because I do have a credit card section that I try to see what it's going to be at the end of the month. Hopefully it's at zero, but you know what I mean, what that bill should be. So those are my 3 financial, and I think it's so important to have financial goals and be able to track them and plan. Now let's get into all these miscellaneous in here. They are very random, so we're going to go over it really quickly. I have a content planner. It just has all of, actually I think I have one loose. It has my logo, has a few different icons, has the post name, platform, date, checklist, so outline, create, edit, caption creation, post it, interact with comments, and then results, so likes, comments, shares. Also, you can put notes on things, so if you notice things or want to add things as the process goes, you can put it here. And then main concepts of that video or post or content altogether is in there. So that is that section. I have a decent amount of those. I don't always do it because I do digitally plan a lot of my content, but when I'm in like a brain dump where I just need to focus on like the content I'm going to make, if I'm going to have a batch day, I do quickly fill these out. Next, I have the next month. So I have July and a monthly calendar, which I did not share with you guys yet. So my monthly calendar is notes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and this is the very traditional style layout where you would flip to it and see both sides. And then I forget where I get this, maybe I can look it up. It's just a simple monthly layout. So with that, that is the next month. I think it's really good to flip to the next month. I have copies of these as well, so this is just like a rough draft as I think of things through June, what's going to be happening in July. I have not filled out. There are a few things I need to fill out in there. Then I have the whole rest of the year, so of just this style. I need to fill in my other ones behind it, but it has August through December, and then I have a whole yearly 2023 calendar. And then this is just the catch-all of like what needs to get put away. I know it's in the back, but it's just the cleanest way in this folder. And then I just have white lined paper for things that I think of. Sometimes I do bring white lined paper with this, but I always have notes on my phone. I'm always at a computer, or I can just jot it down somewhere. So that being said, between my phone, this catch-all binder, this planner, and my digital planners through Google Drive, Notion, Trello, it pretty much saves the day for me for planning. And I think having a calendar system or some sort of weekly planner, daily planner, whatever works for you, is so important. And know that to balance your life, you need to be in control of your life and the growth that you need to do to be independent and say, this is what I'm going to do. I understand that life changes. I know that curveballs happen, but these are the things that no matter what needs to get done. Okay, this did not get done. When can I do it next? Do not pass your goals by not planning. Having some sort of system to really be like, this is what I want to get done, this is what I need to get done, and understanding that the things you want to get done do not get pushed in the back burner. Not anymore. Bloom into this person you want to become, and don't let those fears, don't let anything happen. Let it come to you, and understand that you are on this journey and that you can do it all. I am an over planner. I like to know what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and when it's all happening. So that's just me. I'm crazy, but whatever works for you will work for you, and understand that that is completely okay. And I will see you guys next week. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. I am trying to get at least 50 subscribers, and go follow me on Instagram, because that is where we are going to grow as a community together and understand that you are right where you need to be and on the path to where you want to go.